He fired me on Christmas Eve, 47 people watching on Zoom. He said my protocols belong to another era. The one guarding $800 million. And federal law needed both our authorization. 3 days later, the SEC called. 72 hours to open a vault he couldn't reach.
This wins to continue. If you think arrogance wins this one, stay.
My name is Rebecca Ashford, Chief Compliance Officer, Meridian Capital Trust, 19 years, 53 years old. I built the compliance infrastructure, the audit protocols, the encryption systems that kept us out of federal court. When competitors drowned in SEC fines, I'd survived the 2008 financial crisis, Dodd-Frank, 3 Federal Reserve audits. I knew how to read a balance sheet, like a cardiologist reads an EKG. One wrong number, and the patient dies. But Garrett Whitmore didn't care about any of that. Garrett Whitmore became VP of Strategic Finance in October, 29 years old, Wharton MBA, diploma still smelled like the frame store, 2 years at Goldman Sachs, and a last name. That opened every door in this building, because his father, Charles Whitmore, was our CEO. Garrett wanted to prove he belonged, so he did what every insecure executive does. He started cutting. November 4th, all hands meeting. Garrett stood at the podium, designer suit, fresh from a weekend in the Hamptons, holding an iPad Pro like it was Excalibur. We're entering a new era of operational efficiency, he said. Legacy systems are holding us back. We're implementing an AI-powered risk assessment platform. This will allow us to reduce headcount in compliance by 30%. 30%. That was 9 people. 9 people who'd spent years learning how to spot patterns that algorithms miss. But Garrett didn't care about patterns. He cared about quarterly presentations to the board. December 3rd, I found the termination list on the shared drive. 9 names, all compliance. 8 of them were over 45 years old. All of them made $75,000 or more. At the top, a note. Cost savings analysis, Q4 2024, prepared by Garrett Whitmore, approved by Charles Whitmore. Father and son, I took a screenshot, saved it to an encrypted USB drive, the same drive, where I'd stored every risk flag I'd ever filed that management ignored. Documentation keeps you alive. December 5th, I got the call. Nina Reyes, Senior Compliance Analyst, 51 years old. But what mattered to Garrett was her salary, $92,000 a year. Nina found me in the parking garage. Rebecca, she said, my daughter, Mia. She's 14, type 1 diabetes. Her insulin pump costs $12,000. Insurance covers it. But if I lose this job, she didn't finish. Without that insurance, Mia would be rationing insulin, and rationing insulin kills kids. I made it to the Whole Foods parking lot, and he was going to discard me for a PowerPoint slide. My phone buzzed. Text from my sister. Mom's procedure is January 7th. Are you still flying in? I stared at that message. My mother, heart valve replacement, scheduled 3 weeks from now. That message did something. I wiped my face, started the car, and drove straight to Lauren Chen's office on Lexington Avenue. Lauren Chen had been my attorney since 2012. When I called Thursday night, she said, come in tomorrow morning, 7:30. Friday morning, I told her everything. Nina, the insulin, Garrett, the termination list, Lauren. Took notes. Those termination lists, she said, you saw. Age data, 8 out of 9 were over 45. All made $75,000 or more. Lauren stopped, writing. Rebecca, if they documented a financial plan targeting older, higher-paid employees, that's evidence of age discrimination. I blinked. You think they did it on purpose? 12 out of 15. In the last 6 months, we're over 50, Lauren said. That's not coincidence. That's a pattern. Then she asked, "Do you have any leverage?" I opened my mouth to say no, then stopped. When we built the compliance vault in 2016, I said, after the SEC audit, we implemented dual authorization encryption. 2 keys. 1, CEO. 1, Chief Compliance Officer. Federal regulations require both keys. You hold one of the keys, I hold the key. Biometric. Fingerprint plus passcode plus iris scan. Not transferable. Even if they fired me, the key dies with my access. Lauren leaned forward. Do you still have access? I checked. My phone, my badge, was still active. Yes. Until they formally terminate my system access. I'm the gatekeeper to $800 million. Lauren smiled. Not a warm smile, a dangerous one. That night, I logged into the Meridian back-end systems, the compliance vault, access logs, my name. Appeared 1,947 times in the last 12 months. Garrett's name? 0. Charles Whitmore? 4 times. All 4 were co-authorizations with me physically present, because that's how dual control works? Then I checked the SEC filing calendar, Q4 audit, due December 31st, 9 days from now, and that audit required full vault access. Without it, Meridian would be in material breach. The SEC could freeze our operations, revoke our license. I sat back. I built the vault. I held the key, and they were about to fire me without checking who had access. December 6th, Saturday morning. Email from Garrett Whitmore. Subject: Organizational restructuring. Rebecca, effective Monday. Your position is being eliminated. Final day, Friday, December 13th. 2 weeks. Severance. Please return all company property by end of business Monday. Regards, Garrett Whitmore. 2 weeks. Severance. 2 weeks. Then I saw the attachment. Exit checklist. Line item 7, IT access revocation. All credentials, including biometric vault access, to be deactivated Monday, 8 a.m. They were going to revoke my access before I could even clear my desk. But here's what Garrett didn't know. Biometric vault access doesn't work like a password. The system was designed with a failsafe. If primary keyholder access is revoked without 30-day transition protocol and board approval, the vault locks permanently, requires a federal court order to override. After Enron, after Madoff, the vault was designed to be tamper-proof. Even from the CEO. I called. Lauren, they're revoking my access Monday morning without transition protocol? Without anything. Lauren was quiet. Then, when is the SEC audit due? December 31st. How long? For a court order overriding biometric lockout? I checked. Vendor documentation. Minimum 45 days. Lauren laughed. Rebecca, they're about to lock themselves out 9 days before a federal deadline. Do they know this? I don't think Garrett has ever read the vault protocols. Then, we need to make sure he finds out the hard way. I didn't file anything that weekend. I waited. December 9th, Monday morning, 8:04 a.m. Automated email. Your system access has been revoked. I sat at my kitchen table, drinking coffee, waiting. 9:12 a.m. My phone rang. Unknown number. Voicemail. Ms. Ashford, this is Derek from IT. We're experiencing an issue with the vault. Could you call back? I deleted it. 9:47 a.m. Charles Whitmore himself. I answered. Rebecca, he said, we need you to come in. Technical issue. What kind of issue? The vault won't open. It says, your credentials were deactivated, but the system is locked. That's not a technical issue, Charles. That's a security protocol. Section 12 Federal Compliance Vault Standards. If primary keyholder access is revoked without transition protocol, the system locks automatically. How long? To override? Federal court. Order. Minimum. 45 days. We have. A filing in 22 days. I know. Rebecca, this is serious. I know. Can you unlock it? I paused. No. What? My access was revoked at 8:04 a.m. per the exit checklist. Garrett sent. Once biometric access is revoked, it's permanent. That's the whole point. You can't fire the compliance officer and delete evidence. I could hear him breathing. This was Garrett's decision. The termination list says otherwise. Approved by Charles Whitmore. Rebecca, please. I hung up and I smiled because Garrett Whitmore had just made the most expensive mistake of his life. 3 weeks before Christmas, 9:53 a.m. Garrett called. I didn't answer. 10:07 a.m. email from Meridian Legal. Urgent vault access. I archived it. 10:23 a.m. Junior analyst I'd trained texted, Rebecca, what's happening? Executive floor? Emergency meetings? I replied, they'll figure it out. 10:41 a.m. Charles voicemail. Rebecca, I'm begging. We'll reverse the termination. Full reinstatement, whatever you want. I deleted it. 11:03 a.m. text from unknown number. This is Garrett. We need to talk. Misunderstanding. I blocked it. 11:37 a.m. email from the SEC. To Charles Whitmore. CC Rebecca Ashford. Subject, Q4 audit. Reminder. This is a courtesy reminder, Q4 audit. Due December 31st. Failure to submit will result in registration review. I forwarded to Lauren. Her reply, they're panicking. Let them. Don't respond. 12:14 p.m. Charles called again. I answered. Rebecca, the SEC sent a reminder. I know, I was. CC'd. 22 days. I'm aware. What do you want? I want to talk to your lawyer and Garrett's in person this week. When? Friday, December 13th, 10 a.m. And Charles? Yes? Bring Garrett. I want him. There when we discuss his future. December 13th, Friday, 9:58 a.m. I walked into Meridian headquarters. Lauren, beside me. Briefcase, in hand. The same. Hartman I'd carried since 2006. Worn, at the edges. Conference room. See, floor to ceiling. Windows. Glass table. Charles Whitmore, at the head. Garrett, beside him. Pale, dark circles. Looking. Like he'd aged 5 years in 1 week. Corporate attorney. Margaret Talbot. Across from them. Yellow legal pad. Ready. Charles stood. Rebecca. Thank you for coming. I didn't sit yet. Just stood. There. Looking. At Garrett. He wouldn't meet my eyes. Margaret. Opened her folder. Ms. Ashford, we appreciate you meeting. Meridian is prepared to offer a settlement. I didn't respond. Lauren put her hand on my arm. Let them. Margaret continued. Full reinstatement as Chief Compliance Officer. Back pay, restoration of all benefits, and formal apology. Silence. No, I said. Charles blinked. Excuse me? No. Next. Offer. Margaret and Charles exchanged glances. Ms. Ashford, full reinstatement is. I didn't come to haggle, I interrupted. Then what? Do you want? Charles asked. I sat down, opened my briefcase, pulled out a folder, slid it across. First, I said, Garrett Whitmore, terminated, immediately, no severance, just gone. Garrett's head snapped up. You can't. I can, I said. Either we resolve this today, or the SEC gets a detailed letter about missing compliance files. Charles raised his hand. Garrett went silent. Continue, Charles said. Second, all 9 people terminated get offers, full reinstatement, retroactive, or 6 months severance plus insurance through June. Their choice. Margaret was writing. Third, 400,000 settlement, 280,000. For me, 120,000. Employee hardship fund, Nina Reyes. Medical expenses get priority. Lauren smiled slightly. Fourth, all hands meeting. You publicly announce Garrett was terminated for governance violations. You announce reinstatements. And you thank me for identifying operational risk. Pause. Fifth, I unlock the vault. You file the SEC audit. And we never speak of this again. Margaret finished writing, looked at Charles. Charles looked at Garrett. Garrett stared at the table. You want to destroy me, Garrett said. No, I replied. You destroyed yourself when you terminated the chief compliance officer 9 days before a federal deadline without reading security protocols. When you fired 9 people based on age and documented it. I didn't destroy you, I just held up the mirror. Silence. Charles took a breath. Margaret, draft the agreement, Ms. Ashford's terms, all of them. Garrett turned. Dad, leave the room. Garrett, Charles said, not looking at him. What? You heard? Me? Leave. Garrett looked around. Margaret avoided his eyes. Nobody defended him. Garrett stood, stumbling slightly, and left. The door closed. Charles looked at me. He's my son, Charles said, but he fucked up, and I know it. You'll get your terms, Ms. Ashford. 3 days after the settlement. I got a forwarded email from Derek in IT. Subject line, FYI, Monday morning. The body was a forwarded message from Garrett to Derek. Sent December 9th, 8:37 a.m. Derek just wanted to confirm. Rebecca Ashford's access was revoked this morning. Can you pull up the compliance vault? Need to verify something. GW, Derek's reply. Timestamped 8:41 a.m. Garrett, vault is showing. Failsafe lockout. System detected unauthorized revocation of primary key holder. It's locked automatically. This is a federal protocol. Requires court order to override. Minimum 45 days. Derek. Garrett's response. 8:43 a.m. Call me now. No punctuation. All caps. That's when he knew. By 4:30 p.m. that Friday, I was back in my office, the one I'd occupied for 14 years. The nameplate, already back. Rebecca Ashford, Chief Compliance Officer. Garrett was escorted out, security, walking him to his Mercedes, parked in the CEO reserved spot. Monday morning, all hands, meeting, Charles, at the podium. I stood in the back. As you know, Charles began. The last few weeks have been turbulent. First, Garrett Whitmore is no longer with this company for violations of governance protocols. Second, the 9 people terminated in Q4 are being offered reinstatement or severance. Third, Charles paused, found me in the back. Rebecca Ashford worked here for years. She built our compliance infrastructure. She protected us. Through audits and investigations, we treated her in a way she didn't deserve. Rebecca, thank you. The room turned. I didn't smile, just nodded once. 3 weeks later, Nina came back, full reinstatement. Mia's insulin pump covered. She found me in the break room. Thank you, she said. I used the settlement to pay off debts. Emergency fund. And I took that trip to see my mother for her procedure. She's recovering well. I make the same salary, but I sleep better. Last night, I went to my home office, opened the drawer with the encrypted USB drive, documentation from years of warnings ignored. I held it for a moment, then I formatted it. 3-pass. Wipe. No. Dramatics. Just the soft hum as the files vanished. Because I didn't need it anymore. The vault was mine. And they finally understood what happens when you fire the foundation without checking what it's holding up. I was the encryption key. They forgot they needed. Sometimes power isn't destruction, It's remembering. You hold the keys. Subscribe. If you want more stories about corporate arrogance, meeting federal law, and remember, always read the security protocols.